It's time for Track Talk on News Talk 1240 WHBU and the new 103.7 FM and on Muncie's Sports Station, 102.9 FM and 1340 AM. Here's Rick and Gary with Anderson Speedway's Track Talk.
Good evening. Welcome to Track Talk. Rick Dawson, Gary Mong. We're at the Mounds Mall Special Event Studio.
We are.
We're doing this on a Tuesday evening.
I can't get on my
You got the giggles.
Yeah, I do now.
What's up?
I know why, but I can't sit on
Oh, yeah.
I just can't get stopped.
We have fun all the time.
We do.
Here on Track
Talk?
Talkville. Got some
We do.
heavy hearts tonight and sad hearts. If you don't already know, Rex Robbins passed away day before yesterday. Rex he'd been suffering for several years, actually, even before Becky passed, with some health problems, and fought through them for, like I said, for several years,
Right.
and got the best of him Sunday, and we truly lost a legend, folks.
Absolutely.
A lot of you, I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for Rex Robbins doing what I'm doing. Or Becky, for that matter.
And a lot of race drivers wouldn't be doing what they're doing.
No, Rex was an innovator and kind of before his time in some respects, because a lot of the things that he did, you see today in force with NASCAR and the other upper levels, and not just NASCAR but other racing series. Rex. Of course, he started from very humble beginnings. If you've read it, get a chance, get Dave Algebright's book that he and Rex collaborated with a couple of years ago, and it tells Rex's life history, which is very interesting. He's a veteran of the armed services, and he and Becky started out, and like I said, humble beginnings. Had his own business in town, and started out with sprint cars, if I'm not mistaken, at Anderson Speedway.
That's right. Sun Valley back then.
And then started the American Speed Association, which became a national touring series. At the time, it was the only other series on national television.
That's right.
When he did the contract with TNN to do live racing.
Yes.
Which was pretty phenomenal and at the time. But Rex, it wasn't just the TV that brought fame to American Speed Association. It was Rex with rules and with the car body or car types and chassis and safety innovations. He brought the Hans device into the sport.
He did.
And also
then he brought the best of the best of short track drivers.
He did. He recognized how important short track racing was, even when NASCAR was in its heyday.
Yes.
And still kept local racetracks popular.
Yes.
In the American Speed Association, the ASA races were phenomenal.
They were.
That's actually where, I went from a race fan to still a race fan when I went to work with ASA on the weekends. Just me and Skip would go and do the registration trailers, and we get to meet all these guys. We're kind of awestruck at the time when I recognized them. They'd come up to the window, and sometimes I'd ask them their name, and then they'd tell me, and then I go, oops.
But it was that was the series that you went through in order to get to NASCAR. And so many of them did.
The Wallaces, Mark Martin,
Alan Kowicki,
the Waltrips,
Jimmy Johnson.
I mean, even today, the legacy still lives, and it gives these drivers the notoriety from not only just NASCAR but Chevrolet and General Motors back at the time, which was one of the primary sponsors of the American Speed Association. And Rex was and he was a great guy. I mean, I spent a lot of time with Rex over the years, and he and Becky are I respect them to the max, totally. I mean, when we lost Becky a few years ago, that was pretty traumatic for me, because obviously being in the registration trailer, I spent a lot of time with
Becky, did you?
And Rex was instrumental in us facilitating the purchase of the Speedway. And by virtue of doing that, he put he seen that we had the potential to bring the Speedway to where he wanted it to be, and hopefully we accomplished that over the years.
I'm sure he and Becky are very, very proud of what's been done there.
The viewing for Rex is at Roselle Johnson Funeral Home this Friday from 3 to 7, and the funeral will be at 10:30 Saturday morning at the funeral home. So we definitely, I haven't had a chance to talk to Brian or Kelly, the kids, but I have talked to Larry, Rex's brother, a couple of times, and he's been kind enough to feed us information. We've had a lot of calls from folks all over the country, literally wanting to know, arrangements and what's going on. I talked to Joe Balish and with NASCAR, and Mark Gundrum with ARCA, Roger Slack, who was the flagman, who now is the head honcho for Tony Stewart at Eldora Speedway. I had a good conversation with him today. He not only raced drivers, but race individuals and people within the sport. Learn from Rex, and I'll be forever grateful to him. And his legacy, carried over with Brian especially. Didn't spend as much time with Kelly as did Brian, but Brian just has a phenomenal mind for racing, just like his dad did. And it's just a great family, and it's one of those things that happens in life that you have to let go sometimes, but doesn't mean you have to forget what they taught you. So.
And what's neat about it, Rick, is the birthplace of ASA was right at Anderson Speedway.
Yes.
So
it's pretty cool.
It is.
So please, your hearts and prayers with the Robbins family as they go through this tough time, and we'll get them through it, and we'll keep Rex's legacy going as long as I'm at Anderson Speedway. Hopefully,
I think we've done a pretty good job at it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I appreciate it. Here in just a couple of minutes, we're going to have an interview of a young man that again I idolize, and
he is spectacular 2015.
What is it, Eric? 19 years old.
19, I believe. Yes.
Erik Jones is going to join us here shortly on the line, and we're going to talk about his spectacular, not just last year, but his career so far.
Yes,
my
that's
gosh,
true.
He's just starting, and it's pretty cool to talk to him. Big race this weekend at Watermelon Capital Speedway in Cordele, Georgia. Just looked at the entry list on the CRA website. They're up to 35 cars. Kyle Busch is going to be there, the defending NASCAR champion.
Yes.
Just about anybody that's who's who in racing.
And the weather sounds like it's going to be great, too.
It's like it's going to be 70-some degrees.
Yes. We can take that.
Be pretty cool.
That's right.
Down there. So looking forward to that. At the Speedway, I want to remind our competitors real quickly, you need to get your memberships and pit pad reservations in to reserve your numbers. If you get a particular number, they may go away after this weekend. Somebody else may get it from you. So get those in. Call Jessica. She's out the track every day.
And you still got those ticket packages going, too, for the
till the first or second week of next month.
Okay.
Get your ticket packages at Anderson Speedway. We got a big season coming up, and it's just about a month and a half away.
46 days, I think I counted.
Till we practice?
Today. Yeah.
Really?
46 days.
Wow.
6 weeks from Saturday.
Well, you got Jessica just told me today, but right before she left, excuse me, we just sent out the little 500 ticket orders last week, the end of last week, I think it was. And she says right now we are already over what we did this time last year.
Oh, my gosh.
Or not this time, but the same time
frame
after we sent the tickets out. So as predicted, it looks like the Payless Little 500 is going to be huge again this year. And not only yet, the Stoops Freightliner Redbud 300 is shaping up to be
Rex would be proud of that one, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, it's going to be our number 50. So
it was really tough to get Rex out to the racetrack. I always wanted to get him to come out there for the Redbud, but after Rex retired, Rex had a lot of other interests, too, that he pursued. And he'd done his thing in racing and made his mark and left his legacy and did some other things, and never was able to get him out there for a Redbud 300. See Brian out there, he always comes with a little 500 and sometimes the Redbud. So looking forward to talking to him tomorrow, and it's
just sad that it's an end of I can only say the end of a legacy, but I guess at this
the
point,
legacy begins.
The legacy begins.
End
of an era. That's the word I was trying to find. Thank you.
That's a big word.
Era.
It's not a very good Scrabble score.
You're right.
But on the line with us now is an interview I've been wanting to do for quite some time. A great young man, and I just want to welcome Erik Jones to our show this evening. Erik, how you doing this evening, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on. How are you guys?
Oh,
doing good.
Well, we're probably a little cooler than you are down there.
Yeah, well, it's not much warmer down here. We got a nice little snowstorm about a week ago.
Yeah.
It missed us, so we're good.
Are you missing the Michigan winters?
You know, I can say very truthfully that I'm not missing them one bit.
I don't blame you. Erik, you had a tremendous 2015, without question, one that any driver would envy, from the short track level to the national scene. I'm biased, as you know, to what you did with the short tracks this year, winning the Berlin 250 and the Redbud 300 here, and the Winchester 400 again, and picked up that Triple Crown. What did that mean to you, especially at this stage in your career?
Well, it was really, honestly, unexpected. We kind of started off the year, and I got an opportunity to go run the Berlin 251 there with Port City and those guys, and showed up for that race. And after we won that one, I really had no intentions of going and doing anything else after that for the Triple Crown. So it wasn't until probably a week and a half before, actually, I was at Kentucky and started getting some plans together with Rudy and the guys at the KBM that were on the 4 truck last year. And we threw together one of my old late models and went and did that race and ended up winning that one. I didn't know that I'd ever be able to get a win at Anderson. It gave me some rough times there in the past.
Yeah.
So, but then, getting to Winchester, I felt like that was really our best track in the three we went to, and to be able to get that win and pick up the Triple Crown was really, really special for me and really special for a lot of the guys really that put in the work, especially the guys from KBM that, I brought over to do that. We did it all on our own time. After hours, everybody stayed at KBM to work on that car and get it ready. So it was just pretty cool for us to kind of have that satisfaction, know how much work we put into it and see it all pay off.
Camping World Truck Series, a phenomenal year, up and down, but mostly up when it came to the final gun, and you were the champion. What was it like standing on that stage in front of all your peers?
A feeling that is really unrivaled for me. I think, like you said, definitely a year ups and downs, and looking back on this whole season and then being able to finish it off and get the championship, those ups and downs really just made it that much more special. So really a true journey with KBM from back in 2013 and getting an opportunity with them for 5 races and then running part-time again in 2014, and really kind of, went right to plan, honestly, that Kyle and I and Toyota had drew up to give me an opportunity to get full-time in the Truck Series and chase down a championship, and really just special for me to be able to get a driver's championship for KBM.
Pretty cool. And one more thing about racing 2016 Xfinity Series full-time ride with Joe Gibbs Racing. What an honor.
Yeah, it is. That's all you can say. And getting to know everybody at JGR and getting to know Coach JD and everybody over there, it's just been a really cool experience in total to be a part of that family and be a part of that organization. So honestly, I couldn't pick a better team to be with at this time in the sport. I don't think there's a better one out there. So to have that kind of, that leadership that they bring to the table, they've really helped to guide me in a direction, I think, in my career that's going to be really, really good for the future. So a lot of that is paying dividends to Coach and what he's kind of put in place for me and going down the road. So getting the Xfinity Series this year is definitely the next step for me in my career, and I think we're all pretty excited to get going and try to chase down a championship.
Erik, real quick, just give us a little bit of insight of what Coach is really like as a person.
He honestly, he's exactly what you see
really?
On TV or what you've read in his books. He is that guy, and that's pretty cool. There's a lot of people that may put on that face for the camera or for anything else, but he's that guy all the time. And it's been just really pretty neat to get to know him and hear him tell stories about, not only racing and the experiences he has there, but in football and life. And it's just been interesting to know the guy. He's got so much experience, and he's been around and done so many things. It's just cool to sit down and talk to him and really, hear his side of things and hear his opinion on things. So he's been really a great mentor to me and helped me through a lot of things, especially early in my career in the last year or so.
It's not all about the race car and necessarily winning with coach. I know that's important. He's a football coach, for crying out loud. But it's also about the people that he surrounds himself with and what kind of an influence he can have on them.
It is. He's a huge people person, and you see it at JGR over the past few years. A lot of the people that have been brought up, to the crew chiefing level now on the Cup side, every one of them has been brought up internally. They started out as engineers and grew into a role in the Xfinity Series as a crew chief, and then went up to the Cup Series as a crew chief. So that's that's pretty cool. And every time we go to our Christmas party to see how many people go up there and get 10 and 15 and 20 year awards and presents, it's just really neat to see that it's such a strong organization and such a solid place that people don't want to leave. People want to stay there, and I feel the same way. I hope I have a long future ahead at JGR, and I really plan on staying there for a long time.
It's hard for you to, I know you appreciate it right now, but years down the road, you're going to realize what a very lucky position you're in right now to have somebody like Joe Gibbs as a mentor and a coach. And I'm sure sometimes it isn't all peaches and cream. I'm sure sometimes if you get out of line or go sideways or something, he'll jerk your chain, but he does it in a way that you learn from it. And you grow up, and I envy you so much. There's only a few people that I really idolize in life, not just a sport. And I tell you, Joe Gibbs has always been one of those for me, and I envy you to be in the position that you are with him.
Well, I appreciate it, but it is neat, and he can lay down the wall, I guess you could say, when it comes to that time. And we've been down that road a little bit, but fortunately not too much. But he's really been helping steer me in the right direction and figure out a lot of things that I've been trying to get in order and honestly just be a better competitor and a better sportsman. And he's been on the right side of that. So he's definitely, just as competitive as me, which is really cool to see to have somebody that really shares that competitive fire with you. And I think it's, obviously I think that stems back from his coaching days. And, it's not often that, you have too many people that are surrounded around you that want to win as bad as you. And over at JGR, they've really done the job to get that kind of group and those kind of people assembled from the mechanics and the guys at the shop. We all want to win just as bad.
You're probably, this is probably one of the toughest months of the year. I know that NASCAR's limited practice now, so you probably haven't been in the seat of a car for a while, so you're probably ready to go, aren't you?
I am. It is a tough time of year for drivers. We have our times where we're busy for media and photo shoots and everything, but honestly, at this point, everything's kind of done until we get down to Daytona. So for me, it's pretty laid back. I haven't done any off-season racing like I have in the past. I didn't go to the Derby. I'm not going to do Speed Fest this weekend. So, I've been just kind of chomping at the bit here to get to Daytona, especially since really the first of the year. So it's coming up fast. I looked at the calendar today, and Daytona, honestly, is just right around the corner now.
Yeah, it is. And I know Kyle's going to be at Cordele this weekend, so looking forward to seeing him down there and see if he can still do it. I understand a young man a couple of years ago at the Snowball Derby waxed him.
Yeah, something like that, I guess. But it's cool, I think it's neat to see Kyle back in a super late model. He told me last year he was going to do it again this year for 3 or 4 races, and I didn't believe him. But he stuck to it, and he's doing it. And really, it just shows you, man, how much he loves it.
Maybe you and him, you can bring him up to Anderson this year and show him how to win the Red Bud again, the two of you.
Yeah, that'd be neat. We ought to get both of us back up there and try to go after it.
Any talk about a few rides in the Sprint Cup this year?
There was talk about it, back when we were in some negotiations here a few months ago, but honestly, we kind of pushed it to the side just for the matter of, it would have been a sixth car at JGR, and to do a team that only operates for 6 races a year, that's pretty challenging for anybody. So honestly, Coach felt like it wasn't going to be a situation where I had the best shot to go out and be competitive and challenge, for wins, and I agreed with that. So, I think if we were to get an opportunity to do it, yeah, we would. But honestly, I'm not too worried about it. I think there's a pretty solid plan in place for the future.
Hey, Erik, how big of an adjustment is it going to be to go from a truck to the Xfinity car for you?
Well, it's not going to be too big of an adjustment. I mean, they're very different, and I've learned a lot about them over the past year, the Xfinity cars, that is. And it's going to be a little different, working with a new group of guys. There's some guys that I worked with last year on the 20 and the 54, but kind of a new blend of guys. So, there's going to be some growing pains. A new crew chief and Chris Gabehart, it's his first year on the box. I know Chris very well, so that's not going to be too much of an issue between us. But, there's going to be an adjustment period for sure, and especially, honestly, with the chase. That's going to make the biggest change for me and the biggest learning curve for me.
Well, Erik, we appreciate you taking time with us this evening. Obviously, your number one fan is sitting here behind the microphone and will be forever, I think. It just makes me so proud to watch you and to watch you mature through the racing. And I know your folks are great people, and they've raised a great young man. And we look forward to maybe. Of course, if you get, since you're getting rich and famous, it may be harder and harder to get you on my little radio show, but maybe we can talk to you a couple times more during the season.
Well, I think you will. I know Stephanie, every time Stephanie texts me and tells me you want to get me on here, I'm all for it. So I'll be back on here whenever you guys ask.
I got another young lady that can maybe twist your elbow a little bit.
Yeah, she's done quite a bit for me, so I think I'd give into that pretty quick.
I appreciate it. Erik, have a great night. Tell everybody down there, hey, and hopefully we'll run into you at Daytona.
All right, sounds good. It's good to talk to you.
Same here. Erik Jones, what a great young man.
He's got a great future.
We're going to take a real quick break here and then come back and wrap up the show. You're listening to Anderson Speedway's Track Talk.
Heart attack, stroke, serious injury. A sudden health crisis can happen to anyone at any time. So when bad things happen, choose good people. St. Vincent Anderson Regional Hospital has the area's most advanced emergency care, with a state-designated Level 3 trauma center, an internationally accredited chest pain center for heart attack patients, and advanced certification for primary stroke care. We have all the resources to deliver the care you need for any serious or life-threatening emergency. St. Vincent Anderson Regional is the only emergency department in the area with an on-site helicopter. And our $27 million state-of-the-art surgery pavilion opens later this year. Bad things can happen to anyone. Thankfully, good people are ready to help. Choose emergency care from St. Vincent Anderson Regional, the spirit of caring. Visit stvincent.org/Anderson Regional to learn more.
Honey, stop! Oh my gosh, that's Diggity's back there.
You mean the new Diggity's Frozen Treat Factory?
I heard it's unbelievable. Everybody's talking about it. They have everything yummy.
Yeah, I heard they have ice cream, yogurt, custard, sorbet.
And gelato, plus fruit smoothies, and that's just the beginning.
I heard Diggity's has over 250 toppings, not 30 or 40 like those other places, and you can even get the candy to go separately.
We can eat outside on their huge patio by the fire, too.
Okay, let's see. Frozen yogurt, ice cream, custard, sorbet, and gelato with 250 toppings? Or a plain old frozen yogurt shop with limited toppings?
Diggity's it is!
Diggity's wants to cater your event. Diggity's can set up at your event inside or out and provide delicious smoothies, frozen cappuccinos, candies, and frozen treats to your guests. Diggity's is perfect for weddings, company picnics, group outings, sporting events, festivals, you name it, just call Diggity's. 765-393-0033 today for more information.
MoFab Incorporated, where imagination is the only limitation. We serve residential, commercial, industrial, and municipal customers as your metals warehouse and fabrication center. We do all types of fabrication using the latest technology with unmatched speed, accuracy, and durability on any substrate. Our ornamental division handles all types of interior and exterior work, including rails, fences, gates, and more. So contact us at mofabbing.com to fabricate your dreams of tomorrow today.
You won't believe these deals? They're too good to be true. You cannot miss this special. We're going to give you so much off, you won't believe it. Actual mileage may vary. Price does not include tax, title, and license. Some assembly required. Batteries not included. Objects in the mirror are closer than they appear. Keep in a cooler place. It is highly unlikely that any sentiments expressed above in any way coincide with those of you.
Wait, what'd they just say? At Auto Farm McCrocklin Ford in Middletown, we're not here to give you fast-talking deals. We take the time to make sure you understand what you're buying to make sure it meets your budget. If you're at Auto Farm McCrocklin Ford in Middletown, you're at the right place.
This program is a presentation by Anderson Speedway. The content contained in this program is that of the host and guests, and not this station.
One of them hippie songs. Really? That doesn't sound like Bon Jovi.
Rick,
I need to hear some vocals.
I thought you knew every song of Bon Jovi.
I did too. That's my favorite group.
Yeah, I know. And you...
Oh well, it sounds like him now. That's Bon Jovi. Welcome back to Track Talk.
Oh gosh,
we got a couple minutes left here. Want to remind everybody again. Get your advance ticket packages because the time's running out. You can get 10 tickets for $80 or get 20 pack for $150. Great bargain. Plenty of excitement at the Speedway this year. Those went well. We're up this year over last year on those two. All indicators are pushing up. Now I just got to not mess it up. And Mother Nature will cooperate, I'm sure.
I think we're going to have a good season as far as Mother Nature goes.
This weekend is the Vors Compact Touring Series banquet up in Fort Wayne.
Yes.
Big event up there. They've got a big announcement. Dan talked about it a little bit on our show last week. We can't say it yet, but it's pretty big, especially for that series, but it's big for racing. So it'd be pretty cool to be able to talk about that next week. And Watermelon Capital Speedway in Cordele, Georgia. It's going to be a fun weekend down there, and looks like the weather's going to be good. If you can't go, I'm pretty sure that I read where Speed 51 will be broadcasting it. You can follow the blog or you can watch it live on video.
125 laps of the Pro Late models and
200 laps of
the Super
Series.
Series. Yeah, great show.
So it's a great show, a great racetrack. The actual race, kind of like Plymouth was. It's just a good racy racetrack.
Yes, it is.
And it's does that make sense? Racy
racetrack. When you don't have a wall from turn 1 to turn 4, it does make it racy because you'll see a lot of them kind of do a little bit of dirt tracking in the process, so it makes it an interesting race.
My phone's ringing from Colorado. Go ahead and talk.
Colorado. So anyway, if you get a chance to get down to the Speed Fest this weekend, make the drive down. It's just south, about a couple hours south of Atlanta, Georgia. Weather looks like it's going to be good, around 70 degrees or so for Sunday. So make sure if you can make a trip down there, get down there and do it.
Well, there you go. He knows every Tuesday from 6 to 6:30 since we've owned the racetrack, and he was one of the stars of the show for how many years?
And he calls you.
And he called me in the middle of the show, which also tells me he's not listening to us on 1240WHBU.com.
Right.
So as soon as we're done, we're going to have a little chat with Colorado. We appreciate you taking the time to spend with us this evening. Hello, Aunt Jenny. Looking forward to seeing you soon.
Yes.
You all have a great week. Stay safe, and we'll see you at the racetrack.
Tune in next Tuesday night for another edition of Anderson Speedway's Track Talk on News Talk 1240 WHBU and the new 103.7 FM, and on Muncie's Sports Station 102.9 FM and 1340 AM. And for more information on Anderson Speedway, go to andersonspeedway.com.